Welcome in, everyone, to the High School Spotlight. I'm your host, Garrett Walford. It's that time of year where the fall camps come to a close, the jamborees are in the books, and now it's game week. I'm joined today by Spencer Verrett, our intrepid reporter who's gone up and down the state of Louisiana. I know you're so excited for week one.
I am. I just got done. We wrapped up the Bayou Jamboree, one of the best jamborees in the state up in Monroe. Plenty of great teams there. And now that week is here. We're going to play some real football this week, and I'm so excited for it.
Some big teams on the preview today. In fact, we'll have 16 schools that we preview. Some are defending champions and others who are looking to win the first title in school history. After a quick break, we'll kick things off with a look at the Ruston Bearcats here on the High School Spotlight.
So it's going to come down to this.
Can they do it?
They missed it! No! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
Back on set here at the High School Spotlight. Last season, Ruston put together one of the most dominant runs in 5A, winning 13 games in a row and winning by 2 touchdowns over Zachary in the Prep Classic. Spencer, what does Ruston look like in 2024?
Well, I'll tell you what, Garrett. They've got a really solid defense. At this jamboree, you'll see that Aiden Anding put on a stellar performance in a jamboree. He had a kick return in the dome last year. He had another kick return to open up the season in this jamboree. That defense is going to be tough to break down. And offensively, you return a guy like Josh Brantley at quarterback, he's going to score you plenty of points.
Coach Ball and the Bearcats have been steadily building. This team has won 10 games or more 3 seasons in a row. Is their schedule conducive to another deep playoff run?
I'll tell you what, they're going to have to work hard, but this is a great Ruston team. They're playing 3 teams from Texas, a team from Arkansas as well, and they open the season with the likes of Acadiana. It's going to certainly be a tough schedule for them, but I'm sure the Bearcats will find a way through it.
All right, let's take an inside look at Ruston for 2024.
Ruston brought home their first state title since the 90s last year. With the talent returning on both sides of the ball, the belief is they can do it again. That journey started in the Jamboree win over Neville.
Yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. I knew coming into it that they were going to be pumped up. Our guys were pumped up to play somebody different, and then you say different, and then it's Neville that rolls out there, and I knew it was going to be a close ball game. I don't expect any less than that.
Plenty of returners on offense, including Tulane commit quarterback Josh Brantley. It was a slow night for the Bearcats' offense, but they are ready to turn it up.
You saw flashes of some really good things. We just need to be more consistent, and that's what we've been preaching to them in fall camp. And, you know, we got to go back to work. It's going to be a short week, and we need to make some corrections, and hopefully we'll be more consistent Friday.
We went out and we didn't really execute how we needed to, but we know we can do better than that. So moving forward, we're just going to correct those mistakes and just keep building on what we got going. We've been connecting lately. Like, our offense, we really have grown up from last year, just experience-wise, like going out there making plays that we never made before and just doing that on a daily basis. Just that really helps add on to this team we got going.
Returning on defense is recent LSU commit Aiden Anding. Anding posted 2 interceptions and a kick return touchdown in the Jamboree. Anding ready to prove he's among the best.
I can't think of anybody else that's a better player. Nobody else I'd rather have back there doing the things that he does and the things we ask him to do. It's been a rough week for him, and very happy for him.
Really, the performance, man, it wasn't pretty, but we got the job done. That's all that matters. Just getting ready get ready to make some corrections, get ready for our next opponent. We're taking it step by step, but the defense, man, I love them boys. I don't want to play with nobody else, bro. And, like, man, we just got the job done. Really, it's been building up, really, the recruitment process. I just committed to LSU, so I know, like, I committed early before the season just so I can focus on my game and get ready to show why I'm really supposed to be the best in the nation. The rankings don't mean nothing. But really, man, it just, yeah.
The best will be required for Ruston in their district. Plenty of tough opponents to go around.
It's very tough. You know, you don't get a break. You'd like to try to get a break in there somewhere, but I don't see one. So, you know, to me, it prepares us for the playoff run because you don't get any breaks then either.
The Bearcats have won 2 in a row over their rival West Monroe, and both victories coincided with trips to the Superdome. This year's Week 10 matchup will likely decide the district title again. Coming up next, we head to the Atchafalaya and preview Westgate and Notre Dame on the High School Spotlight.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
The start of school means the start of new sports seasons, which unfortunately can mean injuries. Too often, sports injuries are treated with opioids, leading to addiction among our youth. And drug addictions can cause overdoses and deaths. If you're injured, ask your doctor for medicines and therapies that don't use opioids. And if you're struggling with opioid addiction, we can offer treatment. Opioid addiction is a losing game. You can help. Learn more at realhelpvr.com. That's realhelpvr.com.
The 2024 high school football season kicks off Thursday, September 5th with the LHSAA Network Game of the Week. Central and De La Salle battle at historic Tad Gormley Stadium in New Orleans. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Central on the LHSAA Network.
And we're back on the High School Spotlight. Spencer, Coach Ryan Antoine of Westgate won it all in 2021. Those freshmen are now seniors. They could be poised for another big year.
They are poised for a big year for sure. There's a lot of talent down there in New Iberia, and if Coach Antoine can put that all together, they'll be poised for a deep dome run this year.
Here's our preview of the Westgate Tigers.
Yeah, we have 8 starters coming back on both sides of the ball, so 16 starters total, coming back on both sides of the ball. So, we have a pretty, high experienced group coming back, led by offensively Jabari Antoine. He's committed to Miami right now. Plays quarterback for us, does a great job. Also plays cornerback for us as well. He went down last year with a shoulder injury, but came back a little bit toward the play in the second half of the playoffs. Tobias Garden ran for over 1,900 yards for us last year. He's coming back at running back for us. Davian Jackson, who's committed to Mississippi State, he's coming back at receiver. Him and Bryant Leon, and Jackson Malvo are coming back at receiver for us. Gavin Hebert, one of the top tight ends in the state, he's coming back for us as well. Does a great job for us, kind of just able to move him around in a lot of different spots. Returning starters on the offensive line, Ricardo Charles and Peyton Nat. So our offensive line's a little young. We lost three starters on the offensive line, but we feel like the guys that have been working in that spot, they've been doing well.
I play defensive tackle, and I do a little O-line here and there, but I feel as my role is bigger than just playing my position. I feel I got to be there for the rest of the team, make sure they know their role, so, it all come together as one.
Defensively, we bringing back Evan Bryant, Travian Netter, and Demarion Jackson on the defensive line. All 3 of those guys can play. Evan Bryant is actually committed to Grambling right now, so he does a great job for us. But I think a Travian Netter who is ready for a big year, for his senior year for us. Linebacker-wise, we're led defensively really by that Travius Spider Lively, 3-time All-State linebacker. He's committed to University of Central Arkansas. He does a great job for us. He's our heartbeat. He also ran for 9 touchdowns for us last year on offense as well. Amari Simon, who's also a real good player. He's kind of our Swiss Army knife on defense and also our best returner. He's coming back. Makai Wells, Trandon Benjamin in the secondary, and also Colin Antoine, who's a first-team All-District corner. So we feel like we got a lot of pieces that can do some things, and then we also have a great piece in Jake Thibodeau as a kicker. You always need a strong kicker that can place the ball where you want on kickoffs, but also make those field goals for you when you need them.
Westgate expectations for 2024. Man, we win in the last game of the season. That's the expectation. That's a standard that we just finish the season strong as seniors. My role, I'm the kicker, so I just make the extra points and field goals. they try to use me as a weapon. And it's grown throughout the years because we won state a few years ago by 1 point. So now kicking is actually important over here.
It's a culture, like you said, it take a community, it take more than one. It's more than just a sign or just a name. It's a brotherhood behind it. Coaches, they're not just coaches. To a lot of people around here, they're like fathers because you know how it is in Iberia. So when we preach WAMP, it's more than just a name.
We lost LCA, who was, a powerhouse team in our district. They dropped back down to 2A, but we're still going to play them in the season. We added Rain and Como. So we're going to be playing district ball a little bit early this year, but we feel like we have one of the tougher districts in the state with us, St. Thomas More, and Turlins. We pretty much fighting for, the top spot in the district every single year, which STM is always the district favorite. So, we're all trying to, be that type of program like them. But you definitely can't take anybody lightly. You got to go out there and play as hard as you can because our district foes definitely make sure that you get better every week.
Notre Dame of Crowley is one of the most storied programs in Louisiana football history. The Pios have won 6 state titles, including 4 under current Hall of Fame head coach Louis Cook. Let's hitch up the wagons and head out with the Pioneers at Notre Dame.
The kids are ready. They had a great summer. I thought we did a really good job. Participation was good. They're excited about it. We have a large senior class. Quite a few started last year for us, so we've got some veteran players. And, I think, they're hungry. We've had some disappointment in the losing semifinal games and last year quarterfinal games. So, we've been at the doorstep. We just hadn't been able the last few years to get in there like we had in the past. And I know that it's on their minds, and they want to take that next step.
We got a strong team, a lot of returning starters. I think we'll be pretty good. 8 on defense, a few on offense, so we'll be pretty good this year. I think pretty strong. Healthy, we'll be one of the best teams in the state. I think in 2A, that we have a good chance to make a run at it. I think this year.
We're a really strong team. I think people can expect a lot out of us this year. We have Parker Faust at quarterback. He's a good leader. We got a couple big old linemen coming in, Gavin Gillette, Will Gotro. We have wide receivers, Leighton Fall, he played last year, so we're pretty good.
We picked up Lafayette Christian and Lafayette Renaissance Charter, and definitely cut down on our travel. we lose Vinton, DeQuincy, and Grand Lake, and pick up 2 Lafayette schools. So but the other thing that it does for us is the competition. The challenges are going to be greater once we get in the district. Not to put anybody down, but the last year, from week 6 on, I don't think our starters played in the 4th quarter. So you go into the playoffs and you haven't been really challenged since early in the season. And this year, that's not going to be the case.
LCA, they came down our district. They'll be pretty good. There's a new team, Lafayette Renaissance, we don't know too much about, but I think overall we have a good chance.
That's great. He's one of the best coaches in the state, so in the country actually. So it's awesome to be able to play under him, and also he coached my whole family, so it's nice to be under him. And started with my Uncle Tommy. He was first class, I think, over here. And my grandpa came, and my dad and all his brothers and all my mom's brothers all played over here, so everybody's been over here.
It looks like Notre Dame will be strong once again under Coach Cook. When we return, we'll catch up with the coaches and student athletes from Manny and Leesville. This is the High School Spotlight.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
The high school spotlight rolls on. Spencer, last year the Manny Tigers won 9 games, including a pair of big wins, blowout victories in the playoffs. What does second-year coach Dylan Barrett have cooking in Sabine Parish?
Well, I'll tell you what, they just got done at the Bayou Jamboree taking on Jena, another Sinla team, and it certainly was rough for them, but I still believe the Manny Tigers will have put together a good season and put together another deep playoff run, including a district title in there as well.
All right, here's a closer look at Manny.
The Manny Tigers last won a state championship in 2022. This year, though, got off to a rough start in the Bayou Jamboree as they fell to Jena 30-0. But a young squad is hungry to make things right and deliver the Tigers back to the Dome.
We haven't had very much luck in the Bayou Jam the last 2 years. I thought we played well last week. We had a lot to work on. Tonight, we didn't play well. We still have a lot to work on. We got a long way to go in a short amount of time. That's okay. We know what we got to do. We got to get it done.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of young guys this year. I think we only got 7 seniors, and we got a lot of guys coming up with experience. And
we don't, on both sides of the ball, we don't return a whole lot of starters. Only a few starters, but the starters we do have returning on offense, they are our leaders. And tonight and today, we got to lead. We got to lead in the right way, even when we're facing adversity. And so even when we're tired, our brain can't shut down. We still have to continue thinking and leading.
Yes, sir. There's a couple of those guys that I know real good. That's good leaders, and they have real good teams.
Despite the rough showing, second-year head coach Dylan Barrett still found some positives from his Tigers.
How we started the game, our mindset, our mentality, as we kind of then we faced a little adversity early on. We got a stop, got a penalty, they converted, then they went down and scored. I thought we could have responded a little bit better right then, but up to that point, I thought we were playing well. I thought we were being physical. We were playing, we were in the right assignment, but so those were some of the positives early on.
Leesville High boasts one of the best running backs in the state of Louisiana in Xavier Ford. He leads an offense that averaged better than 35 points a game last year.
He certainly is the star there in Leesville. The Wampus Cats have put out plenty of great running backs to the next level. I expect Xavier Ford to have a huge year this year, and certainly for years to come.
All right, let's give a check on the Wampus Cats out in Leesville.
Leesville has been a top 10 seed in the playoffs the last 2 seasons, including a trip to the quarterfinals in 22. The Wampus Cats went undefeated in district play last fall and are looking to keep building under Coach Robert Causey.
It's been a real good offseason for our kids and program. I've always felt like at the end of the season, you should always reevaluate, see what you created yourself in your program, see what problems have occurred during the season. When you play good teams, you always kind of find the holes that you've got to fill. And I think we've done a good job within our program of addressing those areas of needs. We returned about 3 kids that started. We lost almost 17 starters from last season across the board. And so we have a lot of new faces. A lot of them will be seniors this year, those new faces. But we have a young man at nose guard named DeAndre Herron, district MVP on the defensive side of the ball, is returning. We have 2 cornerbacks, Taj Jackson, Chris Leonard Jr., that are returning, that got a lot of playing time last year. Another young man that played defensive end at times for us, Vernon Stewart, that'll play. All those guys are leaders, really stepped up. Not so much just the verbal aspect of leadership, but leading by example and holding themselves to a high standard and expecting others to follow.
Standout running back Xavier Ford has rushed for over 5,000 yards in his career, including 2,400 last season with 32 touchdowns. The senior was named to the Work Done Award watch list.
We were really excited to start out this season. We just been putting in so much work throughout the summer, throughout the off season, watching film and just growing, just being able to have a better connection. So we think we're just gonna go out, play our brand of football and just go have fun. We just making history, and we just making the way. We just setting the standard and paving the foundation for the younger ones coming up and ourselves. He's
a better person than he is an athlete. So you're looking at that quality right there. It makes him easy to coach. He wants to learn. He's a great teammate. He has a skill of great vision, and he's patient. He knows how to set up his blocks. And the young man runs to contact. One of the things that he looks forward to in a game of football is he wants to make contact. And so when all those things, you look at all those qualities, it just kind of adds up to him being a really good ball player. But I've told every coach, what you see on film, he's 10 times the person than he is as an athlete.
Senior cornerback Taj Jackson is excited to start the season and knows league play will be a challenge in District 3 4A.
I'm very excited. This year, I didn't expect it to come this fast, to be honest with you. And honestly, like the progression that it took me to get here is absolutely amazing. And I just want to keep doing it. That is like what we want. We want the toughest people, the toughest opponents, anytime, anyone.
I think our goal, to me, it's an outcome. Our goal is to try to be, the best people we can possibly be, and that starts from the top to bottom. That starts with me, and it goes all the way down to the water girls. And so it's quite an honor. I'm coaching kids of kids. I'm coaching kids I coach their dads, their uncles, and their brothers. And to me, that's special to have that type of relationship over this extended period of time is greater than anything that can be won on a football field. That investing in the community, and more importantly, those kids investing back into me when you look back over your career. So I've been very blessed.
When we return, it's time to check in on another defending champion. Oak Grove and quarterback Jackson Bradley step into the spotlight when we come back.
Love did this. This is Love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
The 2024 high school football season kicks off Thursday, September 5th with the LHSAA Network Game of the Week. Central and De La Salle battle at historic Tad Gormley Stadium in New Orleans. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Central on the LHSAA Network.
Welcome back to the high school spotlight. Oak Grove and Coach Ryan Gregory have won 4 of the last 5 championships, including back-to-back crowns under quarterback Jackson Bradley, who puts up monster numbers.
He certainly does, and it's not just him on that offense. It's also the likes of Jay Freeman as well, the running back. But that offense was looking very much in tune, ready to go for the season at the Bayou Jamboree. They're going to put up plenty of points again this year and probably make another deep run as well.
The Tigers trying to hunt down a 3rd crown in a row. Here's a look at Oak Grove.
Oak Grove has won 4 of the last 5 state championships in Division 4. Despite moving up to Division 3 this season, the Tigers look ready to make another run to the Dome after an impressive Jamboree win over Richwood.
Just playing faster. We don't have the luxury of coming out and playing slow. I thought Richwood did a really good job of coming out and matching us score for score, and we just got to play faster from the get-go.
We bring back a big group of seniors, so we just push through everything. We've been here before, we know what to do.
The off-season, you know how it is during the summer. It's hot, it's a grind, but we bring back a big group of seniors. We've been playing with each other ever since 6th grade, so we got that chemistry, and I feel like we're going to make another run this year.
Back on offense at quarterback is Louisiana Tech commit Jackson Bradley, plus running back Jay Freeman. The two will be a dynamic duo to watch all season.
A lot more of the same. I mean, that's 2 4-year starters. Jackson does everything you need him to do as a quarterback, and Jay's probably one of the most electric players in the state.
We try to stay real balanced, pass and run. We got a lot of quick game stuff. We try to get playmakers in space, and I feel like we did a great job of that tonight.
The defense has plenty of work to do replacing starters, but the Tigers' defense is always strong come playoff time.
Just kind of what you hit on right there is coming back and being resilient. First half was not good, sloppy, slow to the football, not doing our assignments, but coming out in the second half and pitching the shutout was really what we needed to see.
They're a great group, and Coach Green's a great defensive coach, and them boys will be ready come week 1.
That group, it's always, that group, when they get going, they going to make sound around the ball. You just got to give them a few drives. They came out slack in the day, but they got up on top of that game in the second half.
And according to the Tigers, there's no better place to play football than Oak Grove.
You know, it's not an ordinary night in a town. They shut down the town, the whole town, come to watch the Tigers play. It's just a special thing to play football in Oak Grove.
Maybe the Tigers will make it a three-peat, though they open up week 1 on the road at Calvary Baptist. Now we stay in the northeast corner of the state and take a closer look at Ouachita Christian. The Eagles won 11 games last year and made the state semifinals. Coach Stephen Fitzhugh's team is poised for more success. How are they shaping up this season?
Well, I tell you, it's a younger group than what they had last year. Plenty of seniors graduated, but what there is a lack of is effort in that group, and they showed that at the Bayou Jamboree. They dominated Cedar Creek, and they look to have another big year this year.
Should be a good start to the season for Ouachita Christian. Here's a closer look at the Eagles.
Ouachita Christian was a few minutes away from the Dome last season. The senior class the Eagles graduated helped bring home plenty of state titles. Now a younger group of guys are looking to get them back on track.
It's been good. Our guys, they hit the weight room year-round. Had great workouts throughout the summer, and our senior class has done a great job of setting the tone for everyone else that it's their turn. We lost a lot of starters off last year's team. We got a lot of seniors, probably 7 of them starting this year that had not ever started in previous years, and so they're hungry, and it's their turn to step up and have that opportunity. And again, I think our seniors are doing a good job of leading us.
Man, the offseason's been great. We have a lot of new leadership on the team, leadership that people had not stepped up last year, and they're stepping up now. We all have a chip on our shoulder, just like I was saying back there. After losing the semifinal game last year to Lab, it really just brought us closer together, especially after losing a talented group of seniors we had last year. We had some unbelievable athletes last year that went on to play collegiate ball. So, really great. We haven't got discouraged. We've been building as a team, and I can't wait to show everybody what we got.
Running back Macon Leonard was on fire in the Bayou Jamboree game against Cedar Creek. The Eagles cruised to a 37-0 win. Pretty impressive for the amount of new guys in play.
Well, they did good, and I was proud of the hustle, and I thought we tackled better. That was a spot we needed to improve on from last week, and I thought our guys did. And so, again, that's what we want to do, just try to get better a little bit each and every week. And again, I thought they did. I thought offense executed better today. No turnovers from what I call, and I don't recall any drops. And so, again, let's get better each and every day, and I think that we made a lot of improvement from last week to this week.
Yes, I'm pretty sure we replaced 10 guys, 10 full starters, and dude, we've been so happy. Even though I'm an offensive guy, last week at the scrimmage, our defense was our strongest point. All those guys stepped up. 2-3 new safeties and corners, they all stepped up and they made a standard, and it was great. Couldn't be more proud.
OCS has won 8 state championships all time, and if the Eagles are going to make it to the Superdome for the second time in the last 3 years, Macon Leonard will likely lead the way. When we come back, a pair of championship programs come into focus, Catholic and Zachary, when we return here on the High School Spotlight.
Buying online is easy, but not when it comes to buying medications. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl. Kids are dying from these fake pills. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin. A lethal dose is smaller than a pencil point. Worse yet, medical professionals can't tell the difference between real pills and their counterfeits. Don't take anything that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
All right, let's head to the capital city and catch up with 4-time state champion Zachary. Coach David Brewerton and the Broncos made it to the Superdome last year, but they graduated 17 seniors. Now, quarterback Caleb Gonzalez is ready to take the reins on offense.
It certainly will be an interesting transition to Caleb. I know last year he split time with Hudson Spangler, but this year it's his team, and he's got plenty of receivers and weapons around him to use, so it'll be interesting to see how many points Zachary can put up in 2024.
Well, let's head out to Bronco country and catch up with Zachary.
Zachary made its 5th trip to the Prep Classic last year, all since 2015. The Broncos graduated a decorated senior class, including Work-Done Award winner Trades Green. Coach David Brewerton is working with a large group of new starters, and he's pleased with their efforts in the offseason.
Relatively young squad, from an experience standpoint. We got 5 returning starters on this team. So it's been fun to watch that maturation process take place in the offseason and during the summertime with guys stepping into big shoes to fill, and that's it's been a lot of fun to do that. It's a great group. It's a high character group that's been a lot of fun to be around so far.
Quarterback Caleb Gonzalez split time with Hudson Spangler last fall and has emerged as the starter for 2024. Gonzalez threw for 850 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 1 pick in 9 games as a junior.
We're definitely reloading. We're a younger team this year, and people kind of doubting us this year like they do every year. But we've reloaded. We have the athletes, we have the work ethic, and we're coming for it all this year. On offense, my 4 starting receivers: Christian Brooks, Trey Chaney, Traylon Sept, and Jaden Cockerham. They're all some ballers, and they can play. And they all got a lot of speed and length as well. Nate James, running back number 22. He's returning this year, and he's definitely a guy to watch out for.
Caleb's one of those guys that plays with a lot of moxie, right? He believes that he can make every single throw, and he believes he can pull the ball down and run it and do the things that he needs to do to be a great quarterback for us. Watching him go through, he was tremendous on our freshman team as a freshman. He was what you would expect from a high-level guy, but Caleb's on the smaller side. And so he's had to hear his entire life that he's too short and he's too small and all of those things, and to the great ones out there, they use that as motivation, and you can absolutely see him every single day of his life. He carries that chip on his shoulder.
The Broncos defense is poised for a quick start to the season, and the reason for that is
speed. Our defense will be built off of speed, and we got some guys that really can play on that side of the ball, and I feel like you're anchored up front by Sean Hamilton, who's a 3-year starter on the defensive line, and then Michael Sept, who's an inside linebacker, who's also a returning starter for us there. So right there in the middle, we've got a lot of experience coming back just with those 2 guys and really the nucleus of that defense.
Zachary's schedule's tough every season, not only to prepare them for district, but for the playoffs as well.
My philosophy as a head coach is I'm going to try to put together a brutal pre-district schedule because I think when week 11 gets here, it bodes well for our team, and it has in the past. And so I want our guys battle-tested. I want them battle-tested before we get into our district. Our district is incredibly tough with the likes of Central and Catholic in there, and it's always going to be one of those things where you got to be dialed in and ready to go week in and week out, and I think a tougher pre-district schedule prepares you for that, and that's what we're looking forward to.
There aren't many programs in Louisiana who have won more hardware the last 10 years than Catholic High. The Bears have won 5 state titles in that span, including 3 of the last 4. Coach Hudson Fuller has put together a rough schedule that will certainly put them to the test early.
It will certainly test them early. They open the season with Destrand, then you go to St. Thomas More, then you got University Lab, and then you round out your non-district schedule with West Monroe. All 4 of those teams are going to be really quality this year, and you play in a district with the likes of Zachary and Central as well. It's going to be a tough one this year for the Bears.
Catholic graduates All-State quarterback Daniel Beal. Who are the new leaders on the team? Let's take a closer look.
We've got a great quarterback room. I'd say out of the 4 guys that we've got in that room, it may be collectively the best that it's been since I've been there in terms of just 4 guys that are quality, that are really serious and committed, and that have a lot of potential. So Baylor Graves, he's going to take a lot of the 1 reps, but Turner Goldsmith is another guy that got him into wins today, did really well. And really both those guys are going to be able to help us at the varsity level, and we feel great about both of them.
We got a competitive competition going on between 2 quarterbacks, Baylor Graves and Turner Goldsmith. Both of them got reps tonight. Both of them are doing great. I think they're going to fill his shoes very well. I thought we saw a lot of improvement, a lot of good plays, a lot of good runs. Our running backs are great, wide receivers are great, quarterbacks are great. Everyone did well, and there's a lot of improving to do, but got a good first step in.
The thing that stands in between, a group being great or just average is their ability to be consistent. And sometimes when you've had success, the drive to be consistent, to do the work that it takes to be great, it can be a challenge, and so that's what we're going to fight.
Yeah, we can't. Nothing last year is going to carry over to this year. We just got to continue to work, and we can't, as Coach said, can't be complacent. Got to keep the foot on the pedal.
I mean, on every level, we got good D linemen. We got Jay Vessel, Oliver Sabine, Corey Hatch. On second level, we got Maxwell Maurer, Leighton Welsh, and our DBs, Caden Jones, Bladen Bradford, Jacob Bradford, Sam Norman. They're all great. We're going to have a good defense this year.
We're kind of breaking the season into 3 parts. We got 4 games in a bye week. So playing some of the best competition in the state. We know that they're going to show us the things that we need to improve. They're going to allow us to be battle tested, and they're going to give us confidence as we go into district and the playoffs.
We've got plenty more football here on the High School Spotlight. When we return, we head to the North Shore and preview the Mandeville Skippers, fresh off a trip to the state semifinals. Stick around.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
Welcome back into the High School Spotlight. Most folks will remember Craig Jones elevating the Lakeshore program and taking them to the state title game in 2017. Since taking over Mandeville, Coach Jones has the Skippers on a meteoric rise, reaching the semifinals last year. Spencer, this team is headed in the right direction in a hurry.
They certainly are, and it all starts with running back Nate Shepard. This kid is electric to watch on the field. Last year in the quarterfinals, he scored so many touchdowns against Airline, he forgot actually in his post-game interviews. He recently committed to Duke, and he shut down that commitment early so that way he can focus on this season. So it should be a really great season for him and the Skippers.
It's really refreshing to see a player like Shepard who doesn't want to come off the field, plays offense, defense, special teams, and again, he's not focused on recruiting this season. He's focused on getting his team to the Superdome.
Right, and it's kind of rare at that 5A level to see a guy who plays both sides of the ball, but it certainly is refreshing to see as well.
Let's see what's on tap for Mandeville in 2024. It's been a quick turnaround for Mandeville High School under Coach Craig Jones, now in his 3rd season with the Skippers. Mandeville knocked off a pair of top 5 seeds in the playoffs last year and made the semifinals, falling to number 1 seed and eventual champ Ruston.
Well, obviously we want to take 2 more steps than what we did last year. We want to be able to win that semifinal game, get the state championship, and then win it. That's the goal of the program every year.
The Skippers return Nate Shepard, a senior tailback who plays on offense, defense, and special teams. Shepard, who's committed to play for Duke out of the ACC, has set a high bar for Mandeville in 2024.
I just want to see our team succeed, man. And if I had to beat out there 100% of the time, then that's what I'm going to do. We want to get to that next level. We want to get to the Dome and win the state championship. So if I got to be on the field at all times for us to do that, I'm going to do that for my team. We got Michael White, number 1 at wide receiver. He's a dog. He's going to eat every time he touches that ball, and he's the best wide receiver blocker we got. Nobody does it better than him. Obviously, I can't forget our quarterback up there. Our quarterback, he leads our team. He does everything out right. Everything he's supposed to be. He's always where he needs to be. And then I got to give a shout-out to our O-line. A lot of returning guys, a lot of new guys also on the O-line. And the boys came out, and they fixed everything, and they got right.
He impacts the game, like you said, in all 3 phases. Punt block tonight, recovered for a touchdown. Obviously what he does on offense, his ability to do some things defensively, clean up plays if we give up a run and make them play another play. He's a dynamic player.
The Skippers defense returns veteran players, including number 95 Marcus Zenon, who racked up 12 sacks last fall.
D-line was doing their things, and the defense was doing things. We were sloppy first half and all tired, but second half we picked it up and we executed. We got to be faster, stronger to make the state championship run, and hopefully we get there.
On special teams, Creighton Wilbanks is back after registering 50 touchbacks and averaging over 40 yards per punt last year. The excitement level is near an all-time high on the Lakeshore.
Well, look, our student body has historically been very good, and I think with the excitement coming off of last year and the school spirit has been phenomenal. The kids show up every game, and it's really cool to kind of be on the sidelines when you do get the opportunity to just kind of hear, at the end of the national anthem or when we're running out onto the field and hear the support that we have.
I covered the Mandeville Jamboree last Friday, and everything looks to be in place for another deep playoff run. Big fan support, returning talent, and of course, a tough schedule that should have them ready for the postseason in 2024. Coming up next, we'll hit fall camp with two defending champions, Southern Lab and St. Thomas More, when we return on the High School Spotlight.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
The 2024 high school football season kicks off Thursday, September 5th with the LHSAA Network Game of the Week. Central and De La Salle battle at historic Tad Gormley Stadium in New Orleans. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Central on the LHSAA Network.
Welcome back into the High School Spotlight. Spencer Barrett and Garrett Walvard with you, taking you through this week's preview show. Southern Lab out of Baton Rouge has won 2 of the last 3 state titles under Coach Asbury. It's been this fun father-son duo leading the way.
It has. Marion Asbury returns for his senior year. He recently committed to Southern during the offseason. Explosive, tough to bring down running back. I expect big things out of him in that offense this season.
They'll have to replace some starters. We'll see how Coach Asbury will do it in 2024.
Coming off another state title under Darryl Asbury, Southern Lab will lean on their defense to begin the 2024 season. The Kittens shut out 4 opponents last fall and allowed just 15 points per game.
Well, I tell you, the defensive line is back. Those front 3 guys are back. Tavares Norman leads in the linebacker category. He's back. He was the outside linebacker. We had to move him inside with the loss of Chad Jones. And in the secondary, we've rebuilt that whole secondary with some guys coming over. So I'm excited to see what we're going to bring to the table.
Coach Asbury's son, Amarian, was named the most outstanding player of the Prep Classic. His dad is excited for one more season enjoying the view from the sidelines.
Well, a wonderful feeling. It's about to come to an end. I think it's been a great run for he and I, and he's done the things that the team has asked of him. And I've asked as his father first and his coach second. Just condition the body, take care of your academics, ranked 3rd in his graduating class, and I'm extremely proud of him.
Southern Lab's schedule was reshuffled after losing a member of their league in District 9 1A.
Well, the only change, Slaughter went up. So it's still us and Kentwood, Central Private, and Thrive are the teams remaining in our district now. You know, we're normally pretty heavy at the top of the schedule, but what I did was I moved Madison Prep down to week 6, Denham Springs is week 5, and Kaplan is week 7. So it's going to get interesting for us down the stretch.
The Kittens will again chase excellence, looking to win their 3rd title in 4 years.
It's a heck of a feeling. And I tell the guys, you have guys trying to figure out how to win games. We're trying to figure out how to win championships. And that's the standard here at Southern Lab. Get your academics and win championships. Anything less, you're going to come up short.
St. Thomas More and Coach Jim Hightower are no strangers to the Prep Classic. They're on a 27-game win streak and have won back-to-back state championships. They got a new facility on the rise over there in Lafayette. Everything's looking up for STM.
It always seems to be looking up for them. No matter how many starters they lose, they look like they're always going to be able to replace them with that coaching staff they have over there in Lafayette. Plenty of excitement around the program. Seems like a big 2024 is in store.
A couple of big names at quarterback will let you know who's going to be leading the offense for the Cougars in 2024.
SDM is a work in progress right now. You know, we lost so many super players that really led us to 2 state championships back to back. You know, Sam Altman, Landon Struthers, Hutch Swilly, Hayden Hernandez, Brody Latchley. I mean, I could go on and on about the guys we lost. We do have some talent coming back, especially in our secondary. I feel like, you know, we've got a returning experience there, and they've shown themselves at practice to be ready to play. We've got a lot of holes to fill, and we're busy filling them, and I love the attitude the kids are bringing to everything we do. You know, the weight workouts this summer were great. We had a good off season starting last December, and senior leadership seems to be moving in the right direction. So we got a lot of positives. We got a lot of question marks.
So we have a senior in Matt Parker, and we have a junior in Cole Bergeron, and both have shown some pretty promising things, and I feel like as we start developing, they'll both be pretty good weapons for us down the road.
Our class and even the classes above us, like, we're all about winning. So I know that, you know, the reps we've been putting in this off season, and like the 7-on-7s, the workouts, the way, like, the intensity we've been bringing, there's no doubt in my mind that we are going 3-peat.
We open with Karen Crow. We've got Catholic Baton Rouge. Week 2, week 3, we've got Acadiana. Week 4, we've got, it has been a while since we played Acadiana, but that ought to be an awfully good matchup. We know that's going to be another tough challenge. After that, we get a trip to Neville, and then we open our district play with Westgate. So, you know, that's 5 pretty handy football teams that are planning on being around at the end of the playoff competition. So, you know, we're going to find out a lot about ourselves, you know, if we can make it through that gauntlet and hopefully win a few of those games.
St. Thomas More will put their big win streak on the line when they open up the year at Karen Crow. Coming up next, we'll preview the Jena Giants and the Broncos from Sam Houston here on the High School Spotlight.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
And we're back on the High School Spotlight. Time to talk about one of the few teams that went undefeated in the regular season last year, the Jena Giants. Nice way to earn the #1 seed in the playoffs.
It was, and they had their most successful season last year, making the state semifinals for the first time where they fell to Union Parish. And while they did lose a lot, including Zarek Jones, their leading rusher in history, they bring back a lot of guys, and they bring back 2 running backs who they're really excited about this season. They were certainly on fire at the Bayou Jamboree. They tore down Manny from the start, and it's looking like it could be a more successful season this year for the Giants.
All right, here's an in-depth look at the Giants from Jena.
The Jena Giants had their most successful season in program history last year. They were semifinalists for the first time and just fell short to Union Parish in a bid for the Dome. Despite losing plenty of guys off that team, the Giants are ready to get to the Dome.
From day one of the offseason back in December, the guys were locked in, ready to rock and roll. You know, getting as close as we did to being in the Dome last year played for a lot of motivation for our guys. They've worked hard. They're very physical, play very fast at practice, and I think that showed up today.
Well, we got a new group this year. They come in and work hard. The group from last year, we're still trying to, you know, get from the loss from against Union, but, you know, we coming back harder, and this offseason has been great. Oh, it motivated us real good, man, because when we lost, everybody was crying, but we knew we had to suck it up, and move on. So now here we is, and we plan on going to the Dome this year.
Both sides of the ball will see plenty of new faces, but it seems the Giants will be ready to go this season.
Well, the two starting running backs are, we knew last year they were going to be very capable. That's Daniel Hatcher, who's the player of the game, Sid Wilson, both did a great job. Kyrie Richardson came in and did a great job for us as well, expelled those guys. Offensive line is where we were huge today. I thought we played extremely well.
We was really proud of the effort that we gave in. We worked all season for this, all summer. We put the work in. I wouldn't have scored all the touchdowns and got the yards without my line and my running backs and my wide receiver. Thanks to them, that's the reason why I scored. And I'm glad I have a good line and a good QB and some wide receivers and a running back.
Jacob Belcher, Tristan McClendon, Colton Sharp, Amari, Jackson are all great leaders for us, and those are really the only returning stars we had from last year. So they've picked up the slack and doing a great job so far. We got a big one next week.
From Central Louisiana over to Lake Charles, let's take a look at the Broncos of Sam Houston, who certainly bring back a lot of veterans.
A lot of veterans for sure. It's almost 30-something seniors going into this year. A very senior-leading group that expects to have big things this year in a tough district to compete in as well.
Might be one of the surprise teams in the state, though. Let's take a closer look at Sam Houston.
The Sam Houston Broncos return a large senior class with plenty of experience that showed in their 36-27 Jamboree win over a talented Jennings squad.
Off-season's been great. We have a lot of seniors in the program this year, a lot more than we've ever had, and senior leadership really took over this summer, and those kids held each other accountable, and they had a great summer in the weight room.
We've been just practicing for weeks and weeks, or months actually, and we're so ready to play other teams. It fires us up to get out here.
The offense will be led by senior quarterback Gavin Stout, who returns plenty of weapons around him. The weapons were on full display against the Bulldogs.
Just the energy level. These kids are holding accountability for themselves. They're keeping each other up. We got off to a great start today. Obviously, we got a lot to still clean up, but they know what they did wrong, and we don't really have to get on them about it.
I feel like every game kind of stands out, and our district's very hard, so we got good competition, and I'm ready to compete.
I just think we're just really excited to be out here, and everybody's flying around at the ball. Nobody's complaining about anything. Everybody's just trying to get on the field.
The defense will need to be up for the task in a tough district with plenty of firepower as well.
Our base defense this year is a 3-4, led by senior linebacker number 22, Keaton Saunier, Philip O'Neill, number 11, and Cooper Smith, number 2.
Certainly a tough schedule this year for Sam Houston. They begin with Turlings Catholic and Leesville, and at the end of the year take on Acadiana and Barb. If they can navigate that, chance for a district title might be in play. When we return, we'll round up the show and preview North DeSoto and Neville on the other side of this break.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Welcome back into the spotlight. When it comes to high school football in Louisiana, the Neville Tigers take a back seat to nobody. And this year, the program's very strong on defense to start the year.
Very strong indeed. They've got the likes of Brody Watley and Juju Burns. Both are going to go play Power 5 college football. And I tell you what, they played against a Ruston offense who's expected to put up a lot of points, and they held them to very minimal points. So the defense could be the key for the Neville Tigers this year.
Let's take a closer look at Neville.
The Neville Tigers are coming off a season where they exited in the second round to an upset of Central. Plenty of coaching changes in the offseason, but the Tigers competed with defending champs Ruston in the Jamboree, falling 21-15.
Well, I think the one thing that we got to do, Jake, is give him chances to be successful. And when you get out here in this atmosphere, and that kid ain't played in front of 500 people in his life, and then all of a sudden you get here and you're playing defending state champion. You got to do what you got to do against them, and you can't have errors, you can't have mistakes, and So we got to do a better job. We got to do a better job of coaching it and not letting it happen, and and correcting all those things coming up before we play our first real ball game.
The Tigers battled throughout the game, giving Ruston the best punches they could throw.
I think there are some things that we can do a little bit better than what we did, but overall the kids did a really good job. Had a big stop down here, after a turnover or after we think we got the ball, had a big stop after that, and then scoop and score, and I think we have another scoop and score, or a chance at it, and but pleased with those guys, and really pleased with some things we did offensively as well. I think the one thing that we've got to do is be more consistent. We had too many procedure penalties and things that you can't have in a big ball game. I thought our kids battled. Hey, we had a lot of chances to lay it down, and adversity hit us, and I thought we fought back and did a good job with that. And you've got to make sure you don't have critical mistakes at critical times during the game.
The district the Tigers play in certainly won't be easy, but head coach Mike Collins seems up for the challenge.
Well, I think, it's just like we've been doing. We've played all these teams non-district, leading up to district since I've been there the last 4 years. So, it's just a situation where we got to bow up and play. And then, hey, we played in the 5A playoffs. We've been successful against some teams, and we just got to continue to do it.
North DeSoto and Hall of Fame head coach Dennis Dunn are just one season removed from making a trip to the Superdome. And this year, a quarterback-wide receiver combo could get them right back to the Prep Classic.
Luke Delafield and Cole Corey, two of the best in the state. Delafield was top 5 passing in the state. Cole Corey led the state in receiving yards. I expect them to put together a really good season, and they're hungry as well. They went to the state championship 2 years ago. Last year, they were state semifinalists, and Coach mentioned that turnovers was key in those games. So this year, their plan, limit the turnovers, and they can make a run to state.
Let's take a closer look at the North DeSoto Griffins.
The North DeSoto Griffins have come so close to bringing home a first state championship in school history the past few years. That quest continues in 2024 with a host of returners who could power the Griffins back to the Dome.
Like you said, finalists, so you never ended that with championship. So, that we haven't reached our goal yet, and we keep that in the back of our mind. Like, there's only been 2 people on this team right now to play in the Superdome. So, this team's hungry and they're humble, and they carry that chip on their shoulder every day in summer workouts and in fall camp. And man, we just work our tails off, dude.
And we think that culture wins, and the process is the prize, and that's what the emphasis has been all through the summer and last spring in the off season. We're just excited it's here and having the opportunity to go compete again.
The 2 standouts on offense are quarterback Luke Delafield and wide receiver Cole Corey. They'll try to recreate the huge seasons they had a year ago. There's no secret, though, the chemistry is there.
He's my best friend through and through. There's not a day that we're apart, to be honest with you. We go golfing every weekend. We hang out. He stays the night at my house. I stay the night at his house. But then, every day we get off, we come up here and throw. And if you want to have a good connection with somebody, especially a receiver, and you want to be great and you want to be good, you got to be the first one here and the last one to leave. And me and Cole have really embraced that. And we come up here, every chance we get, and we throw, and we work on certain routes and certain releases, and like timing it up with my drop, where he's going to be at, and all that stuff. So, it's worked. So,
it's been different because we all know that we know how we need to play to get to the Dome. We know what it's like to lose in the semis. We know that feeling of the hurt. I think Coach Dunn likes to say the pain of regret is not the same as pain of preparation, and so we've been there before. But now we know, all right, we need to push ourselves to this limit so that we can go win this year. And that's been the main thing, is pushing ourselves to know that, all right, now we're going to go win it.
That was our final look of today's preview show. We hope you enjoyed our preseason high school spotlight. For Spencer Verrett, I'm Garrett Walford. Enjoy week 1, everybody. We'll see you next week.